Within this module, we're going to learn how we can edit and customize the styling of any elements we add within our Bubble application. Cool. I'm going to head to my Visual Elements tab here and I will add our very first text element. What I can do is within my element inspector here for my text element, you'll see we have the option to access our styling menu. And if I was to open up this drop down menu, what you'll see is a series of different styles that we can choose from, but you'll also have the ability to edit styles or even create your own custom styles if you would like. So let's say you wanted to edit the styling of your H2 heading throughout your application. What you could do is select to edit the style of this, and it will open up a new menu in which you can choose to customize the style heading itself. So you could change things like the font size, the font itself, its alignment within the element, or even its color and border. And this gives you a whole series of configurations and settings that you can play with. And one thing I would like to point out is that although there is a whole suite of different styles you can add to things like your text element, you also have the ability to create your own custom style. The other thing I'd like to point out, which is slightly different from styling, is of course our layout settings for this particular element. And so separate from our styling underneath our appearance tab, what we could do is open up our layout tab here. And this allows us to control almost like the styling of this overall element on our page. So just things like where it's going to align and sit on our page, as well as its own responsive settings. And then finally below our alignment setting, I'm just going to need to update the width and height, which is just going to create our truly responsive experience. But one thing I would just like to point out is that stylings are applicable to every single element, not just text elements like I've shown you right now. So for instance, if you'd like to add something like a button onto your page, you can update the different stylings for it. And stylings are also applicable for things like containers and input fields. You'll have the ability to customize different styles within every single different element type. And so what I'd recommend doing to understand how styles work is just to add a bunch of different elements onto your page and play around with the different types of styles. And it'll just give you a better understanding of how you can design different styles of elements which users will interact with in your application.